Right, hello and welcome back to Battlefield 2042. So, last time we had a look at the all-out warfare, this time it's going to be the hazard zone mode. Now, I mentioned in the last one, I'm still not convinced with the specialists being added to the game to replace classes. And it's a really weird one that a lot of the decisions in that, though, that have been made around the specialists make a lot of sense for hazard zone, and you do start to think that maybe a lot of the decisions around adding specialists to the game and removing classes was all about this hazard zone mode. But the issue that I've found with hazard zone, one of my large complaints with hazard zone, it's like the mode still feels a bit unrefined, and the really big obvious problem is that a lot of the maps are designed around conquest. Like, I'll say that now, that a lot of the decisions around the map design seem to have been made around 128 player conquest. They seem to be designed around 128 player conquest, not 32 player hazard zone. So I'll explain it. In fact, there's a little tutorial that you can watch here just to explain it, since it's a new mode.
It isn't about annihilating the enemy. It's about securing assets, specifically data drives. Data drives are found inside satellite pods. The squad needs to retrieve as many as possible, bring them to an extraction point, and get the hell out. The assets could be anywhere, out in the open, stashed in some building, or hell, already tucked in the enemy's pack. You can grab those too. But look out for the occupying forces. They're dug in, expecting you, and they'll shoot any notepad on sight. The more data drives you extract with, the better the reward. And the better the reward, the better gear you can bring next time. Strategize with your squad. What gear do you bring? Are y'all gonna play it stealthy, or balls to the wall? Your squad will share the number of drives you extract, even if only one of you mixed it out, even if everyone else died trying. Keep your eye on the time remaining in the extraction window. Make damn sure you hustle when you get the call for final extraction. Extraction is victory, people. Go get it.
So there you go, there's like a brief overview. The closest thing I can possibly compare it to is maybe the survival mode from the Division, except without the timer and the cold and all that stuff. It's similar to games like Tarkov or Hunt Showdown, but nowhere near as hardcore. So it's a weird one. I can definitely see a good idea in here and how it could become a really good game mode, but at the moment it's very lackluster. But you can have a look for yourself as we play through. So we'll be going in. As you can see, each area, there's in yellow the chance of there being data drives, the white is the chance of there being uplinks there, and the red is the odds of there being enemy AI. Enemy AI are, well, I'll go through it. So the uplinks, that's kind of like the loot in the game, right? The uplinks that you can find. They are very valuable. There's 3 different ones. One allows you to redeploy your squad, one allows you to call in a drone, and one allows you to call in a vehicle. And they really are, it's like the game's equivalent of finding loot. You go in, you find them, you can call that stuff down, and you can then you use it to, for example, bring your squad back in if a few have died, call in for a lift to move you around, or getting a drone. But they look like little laptops lying around the place. They're useful. The main thing you're looking for is the data drives. It's £100 for each one you can get. As you can see at the moment, top right, I've got over £4,000. You get points for killing enemies and enemy squads. So humans and AI squads, killing them, you get points. So you don't necessarily need to extract to get loads of money. You will often get, if you get a few decent fights, even if it's just AI, you'll probably get enough money to cover the cost of your loadout. Especially if they've only brought like a gun and a gadget. Looks like this guy has the drive scanner. I disagree with this decision. I don't know why they've gone for this whole drive scanner thing. And then it looks like our team can't decide which one to go for. So some of these are already there at the start of the game, others will drop in as it goes. Now, the AI in the game is, they hit hard to make up for the fact that they're stupid and dumb as a box of rocks. You can usually tell it's AI by their movements. They'll not move around and run and jump as much as players. But as dumb as they are, they look like they might be players then. But yeah, Casper Fine, those are players over there. The ones in the town were AI, but those over there on that ridge line are players. He really should not be that close. The advantage that the AI have, however, there's a few things they have over you. Yeah, need to move back a bit. The thing that AI have is that they are relatively accurate even at a distance. They'll miss a few shots every now and then to be all like, hey look, I'm a real boy. I haven't got auto aim because I'm an AI. No, I can miss, honest. They'll do that occasionally, but for the most part, especially at longer ranges, they are way more accurate than their human counterparts. Unless that human happens to have a sniper rifle. I hear a jeep. Yeah, that's... And that is a person, that one. That jeep is AI, but that is a person. Right. I also need to give my teammates some ammo. And some armor. Myself too. Hello. Well, that got someone. Nah. The games aren't long, but that'll give you a bit of an idea and we'll head in again. But as I mentioned, you get some points just for getting a few kills, so we didn't do much there, but because we killed a few AI, we cleared out our patrol, but that's half the cost of my gun bag. And then when you do win one, you'll get a few thousand, so you can be quite... You can throw your money around a fair bit. You don't have to be frugal with it. Don't have to be thrifty. You can just throw a bit, splash a bit of cash about. It's not a massive deal. Since my first successful run, I've taken a gun and a gadget every time, and I've been steadily making money. So it doesn't seem to be too much of a big deal to just throw a bit of money about. Oh look, we've unlocked the modern little bird. Well, futuristic little bird, however you want to phrase it. But yeah, so it's not a bad little mode, but I think they definitely do some work. The AI, as I was saying, it's dumb as a box of rocks. It tries to make itself out to be human every now and then, but it's a bit too accurate. It engages you from really far away, and the real kicker though that really lets you know, like, I mean, the movement usually gives it away because the AI will just walk around out in the open and not take cover very often, and just steadily advance toward you while shooting. Players they tend to be way more active in finding cover, and you'll barely see any of them sticking out. You know, because they actually know about that stuff. The AI can just stand in the open. I'm getting a bug joining now. Just another one of the bugs that have been in the game that sometimes it just doesn't join you into a game. I think that's to do with server load, to be fair, from the looks of things. I had it the other day toward around this time when it's getting to prime time. It seems to have more difficulty finding servers. But yeah, the thing with AI though, the thing that really gives it away is when they start shooting you from not just far away but through bushes and smoke, because the AI doesn't see that. It's the one, and you know, the couple of advantages that AI have over you is that one, they can see through smoke and foliage. There can be a million bushes and you can be in a ghillie suit and there can be a smoke grenade gone off. They don't care. They're going to shoot you in the head. To make up for the fact that they're kind of, well, they're AI and just derpy and you're a player, that I'm sure they have a bit slightly increased damage. They seem to hit you like a damn truck sometimes. So occasionally they'll just hit you like trucks and shred your health, so you really shouldn't underestimate them. That's to make up for just the fact that, yeah, they're dumb as a box of rocks. The other thing they have is the numbers. As you've seen with those patrols there, the AI are always in at least groups of 4. Usually though it can go up to 7 or 8. Especially toward when the extraction opens up and you're trying to get out, you'll often have a few groups of AI turn up in jeeps with like machine guns on the top that will absolutely shred you if you're caught in the open. When you're going for the extraction, it's like, right, you need some anti-vehicle equipment, or they will just roll up in those things and absolutely shred you. A couple of rockets can just wipe an entire group of AI as they're getting out of those jeeps, and you want to do that, especially at the extraction. Looks like it's found again though. As I said, a few teething problems with the launch, one of which, you know, I mean, there's a few bugs here and there, but one of which is that it struggles to join lobbies around prime time. I do suspect it's probably a server load thing. But otherwise I've been having a decent time with this. It's not been anywhere near as buggy as before. A lot of the major bugs are gone. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, the specialists, seeing as you can only pick one for each squad, you can't have duplicates, and they all have their own little unique abilities and that. It makes a lot more sense in Hazard Zone, a system like that, than in the normal mode. But the problem then is that the maps are still designed around 128 players for Conquest, meaning there's lots of open ground, there's a lot of empty space, and there's only so many players. You might get in 1 or 2 firefights throughout the entire game, and it's nowhere near as satisfying as just Conquest or Breakthrough. They either need to add more players to this mode, increase the stakes, or if not do that, then they need to... Ooh, what's it? Yeah, if they're not going to up the stakes, if they're not going to increase the amount of players, then they need to like section off parts of the map. Anyway, yeah, it's... I can definitely see a good idea in this though, but I think they're going to need to get... I'd like to see them get some work. I always think that the Firestorm mode they made on the previous one could have really gone somewhere. It really could have gone somewhere, but this mode... Well, but Firestorm as well. Firestorm, it really had legs, it could have gone somewhere, but they just didn't give it any support. They cut support about a month later and just went, well, we've not managed to... It's typical EA mentality. Drat, our Battle Royale didn't make all of the money in the first month. But it's just like their Battle Royale. Why hasn't it made all of the money? It's like, well, it's been a month and there are a bunch of problems that we could tell you about. Right, cut the support, it's clearly rubbish, we'll try again. It's like, no, you just have to tweak it, you morons. If I'd partitioned that section of the game off and done that bit free to play, if it had got a lot more support, it could have gone somewhere. But they just didn't do any of that. And I do worry that this is going to be the exact same problem. Right, now I'm going to do my job as this character and give everyone an armor plate. Need to give myself one as well. Ooh, that looks a lot closer, yeah. Right, there we go. And stand on it, there we go. Now I've got armor. If you've been wondering, by the way, like, ooh, but armor's in the game now, oh, it's going to be OP. Maybe you've heard about it. It's an extra 20 health on top of your 100 health. A lot of every character can just bring armor plates if they want as a gadget. But it's 20 health, it's not a lot. They're not an OP item that just makes it you win every single firefight. Like, if they get the drop on you first, you'll win. Right, someone's not taking the AI seriously. Speaking of, he's apparently moved around here. Ow, ow, ow. Christ almighty, that hurt. Yep, an enemy team have moved on us. We've killed him though. He's there next to me. Now don't do anything dumb. Kill the guy. Revive me. Revive me. Revive me. He's not. He's backed off. He's standing in the open. And he's been shot. One thing I will say, having played a bit of Hazard Zone now, not just on this episode but also off screen as well, you are very reliant on your teammates because there's only 4 of you. Each teammate matters quite a lot, and if you have an idiot more often than not you die because your teammates are doing something dumb, like just monumentally stupid. I've had games where we've all died apart from one guy and he just doesn't use the squad respawn that we had. He just forgot. It's like, what? No, you don't just forget to call the rest of your team back and revive them, thus saving the game. You don't just forget to do that. But he did. And then he got shot by AI, which made it even worse. But then I've been on the other day with my brother. In fact, I've been on a bit today with my brother. And we got a couple of wins. Not didn't win every game, but did a lot better, and it just by having one person that you can somewhat rely on. And yeah, I'm gonna say I absolutely hear them footsteps there, and it sounds like there's a few of them. But yeah, you need communication on this mode. Looks like they're actually both engaging them, so they should do alright here. He needs to find a good spot for that. Problem now is, he's got that one kill, but the other's just going to revive his mate. Probably going to be exiting early, yep. Though they are on their way to an uplink. It's just meters and meters away. And it looks like someone's grabbed that one. It's now 300 and odd meters away. They were about 200 meters. Because it marks the closest one. Right. You can't bring the map up either on this, which I wish you could. From the looks of it, I think it's on their left. I think it's on their left over that way somewhere. That may not be the best move. Oh, it landed next to them. That's what it looks like then when it lands. Jesus Christ. They're not going to burn to death, are they? They're standing on fire. They realise that they're on fire, right?
That's another day to drive.
It's not what you want to be saying when you're relying on this one person to bring you all back from the dead. They realise they're on fire, right? They do realise that they are currently on fire, right?
There's an uplink close to you. Once it's activated,
20 meters. We might nearly be back. 15 meters. So it's in this facility somewhere. They just have to find it. That will take you much higher than 15 meters. Great, you're now 100 meters in the air. You are too high. You are way too high. It's probably on the first floor. Just go back down on the first floor. You've gone up. You are too high. This is not a problem to be solved with the wingsuit, I'm afraid. No, they're going to splat, aren't they? Yeah, they're going to splat on the side. It's a good job they can't concuss themselves, isn't it? Is that it? Hey! The problem now is it's just marked their position to everyone nearby. And they now have to not die in this time. Luckily it seems quiet, but it seems a bit overly harsh, that to me, for someone trying to redeploy a squad. Right, I guess we're aiming for top of this. I mean, I've got to be honest, I had full faith in someone whose name is Dino Croc. I mean, it's two amazing things smushed together, how could they possibly fail? Right, They've even found a spare one just in case we need another. So that's always nice. Now, what do we have over there? No, I think I'd need a bigger scope for that. Right.
Hostile! I'm close to it!
Hey, there's bad guys over there. Yulu! Oh, no, they haven't jumped off yet.
Hostiles are calling for reinforcements. I advise you to stop their
Those are
signal.
AI. Those are absolutely AI. They're panicking. They don't know what to do. Oh, they're shooting somewhere up there.
Hold on, reloading.
That's a person. That's a human.
Tango down.
Oh! Oh!
Tracking a capsule entering the airspace. There's data drives inside. Grab them when it hits ground.
Let's get his respawn timer down a bit. Well, his call for assistance timer down. There we go. Right. That might have just dealt with another squad. Remember that there's only 7 other squads in here. So if we just look at where the AI is shooting at, hello, we can locate the other squads around that and just pick them off from here. Yeah, I think this one's the human. Or maybe it's that one. That looks human there, that person. In that smoke.
Can't be many more unsecure data drives out there.
I want to give these out as well before I forget. Dino Croc. It's dangerous to go alone.
I
Take
can't
this.
stop before you.
Right. I think everyone's just derping around. No one's really taking charge here.
This will be your last chance to get out.
We're at the extraction, so we could just hold steady, kill anyone that arrives and nick their stuff. We are in a position to do that. Ah, I think I see what happened to him. Did he just forget to open his chute? Nice, lagged. Except he spelt lagged wrong. It's got 2 G's. But anyway, yeah, we probably shouldn't use our one squad respawn on the one guy. I mean, we could, but
You've got fresh troops waiting. Just call in a request. Keep that signal up. Reinforcements almost there.
guess we're using it. I mean, I'll give him benefit of doubt and be like, alright, I'm sure, yes, you lagged, okay. Typical though.
Reinforcements arriving at the signal.
Now we've had to use our one squad resupply that we had saved up. So if we die in this next fight, idiot over here has screwed us. You know, why would lag make you... Why even be peering off the building anyway, you know? If you're having lag, don't just, like, wander around to the edge of a building, then. I don't know. That does actually have higher zoom than my scope.
Extraction aircraft closing. Start final prep.
Right.
Coming in fast. Extraction aircraft headed to the zone.
Yep, you can see it on the map now. Right, we need to go.
Pickup is ready. Get on the aircraft. More occupying troops. Clock's ticking. Aircraft needs to go soon.
Grenades! More grenades!
Extraction aircraft has to go.
Well, that was anticlimactic. I think everyone just ended up fighting around the thing. Still, earned my money back, more or less. I think, yeah, I'm like a little bit shy of how much it cost me for the loadout. But, not bad. I think we were waiting too long on the extraction there. We needed to be pushing on that earlier. Because it's like, alright, jumping in last second, but when it gets to, I will say, there's not much of a, it seems to end on a bit of a wet squib, you know. It's just kind of a, timer goes to 0 and whoever's in there, assuming that it's clear of enemies, goes, and that's it.
Gunnar, on time and ready to go.
Well, I can put that mastery thing on my badge there. Got something for my troubles at least. Right. But yeah, it seems to be that the it does end on a bit of a, like I say, a wet squib, really. Got a new attachment though for the weapon. Lots of orbital. It's really keen on putting me in orbital at the moment. Can probably fit another 1 or 2 more of these in, depending how long they are. But my experience of Hazard Zone so far, it's like, yeah, this is why the specialist system is in the game. It makes perfect sense on Hazard Zone, but then the maps for Hazard Zone are terrible and they're all designed for Conquest. But then you play Conquest, and all you're thinking is, why don't they have classes? It's like 2 games that are bolted into the same game, but rather than having classes and Conquest, and then having Hazard Zone with specialists, they've just kind of used specialists in Conquest and the same maps in Hazard Zone, I guess, to cut corners, it feels, or something like that. Or maybe they just assumed that it wouldn't matter that much, and no, it does. The maps for this are too big. The specialists don't really suit Conquest or Breakthrough. I don't know why they keep doing this, because It's the developers have, for example, just wondered why Rush was really good in Bad Company 2, but then Rush hasn't been as good as a game mode since then. Or, you know, its equivalents of, you know, Operations or Breakthrough or whatever the current... I think it is Breakthrough at the moment. Previously it was Operations mode, but it's the equivalent of the Rush game mode. They've been wondering why it hasn't been successful all this time, and it's like, well... In Bad Company 2, you designed around that being the main mode, and the maps were designed around Rush. And I can tell you, just straight off the bat, one of the big differences is that Rush is played on a big rectangular map that's like a corridor, with not too many ways to flank round them, but it'll usually have, you know, 3 or 4 different lanes basically which you can attack from. And a couple of objectives, right? But it doesn't work on as large a scale because it was designed on Bad Company 2 where it were 24 players, and it needs specific map designs which are more of a corridor rather than Conquest, which is more of just a big, just a big area, you know, that you can play in, usually circular or just a big square, but it's just a big open area. Whereas Rush, it's a corridor you need. If I wanted to get an attack-defend game mode like Rush to work on the new one, I would personally say, since it's 128 players, you need to do it... Firstly, the maps have to go back to being a corridor shape rather than being just a big open area, right? There needs to be a lot more cover, particularly around the objectives, but also a bit on the approach as well. There needs to be more cover and things. And not only that, but... Oh, looks like we'll be in that frozen course there. There's a few data drives there, it looks like. And then wherever we go from there, looks like there'll be a fair few more. So we're in luck here. Decent spawn. Assume that we're not surrounded by enemies wanting to kill us straight off the bat, but... Well, we live in hope. Anyway, oh great, we've got one person left. There's only 3 of us. Should I leave? Should I stay? I mean, I've won a game where there's only been 3 of us before, but that's because they died midway and left. I've not started with only 3 before. We'll give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? Well, the worst is that I lose all my equipment and my money, but anyway. So, yeah, the main issue, like I say, seems to be with things like these different game modes. It's they don't design the map around it. Like, if you're going to do an attack-defend mode, I would say have a bunch of built up, you know, have a lot more cover, and I would say that there needs to be more than just a couple of objectives, and especially with there being 128 people, the one thing you want to avoid is everyone piling onto one objective. That'll just turn into an absolute meat grinder. It becomes unfun. You just spawn, die, it gets annoying. You want to make it so there's maybe 4 or 5 different objectives, and you have to get all but one perhaps, so that you'll never get to a point where everyone's scrambling over one objective. They'll be at least going for 2.
Find those drives.
Something like that. Hazard Zone though, again, I do feel like this just needs... I think it's better with friends because you're not relying on teammates that are completely unreliable. You can coordinate your loadouts a lot better. Like, I mean, for example, I'm currently carrying my personal, my specialist's personal ability. This gives people ammo and armor, right? These two both brought armor plates as their special tactical gadget. It is completely useless, that, because I can just give them an infinite amount of armor plates. You can only have one in at once, obviously, but I can just give them armor and they can replenish it forever from me for free. There's no need for them to bring their own, but both of them brought their own when they could have brought a different item. See what I mean when I say the bots are actually reasonably accurate, especially at range? Typical. I get a bunch of hits on him and he manages to kill me first. And the other teammates run off over there. And he's the one who brought the stock default weapon, which is a assault rifle with no attachments, so he is useless at this range. And what he should be doing right now is backing way the hell off and finding a nearby uplink. Now there does happen to be one here, but there's also definitely an enemy squad that we know is definitely here. And is engaged with them. Great. I mean, I could understand if he engaged them and he'd got like eyes on 2 or 3 that he could easily pick off, very quickly turn it into a 1v2 fight or something, but no, he's sprayed half his clip into a set of railings and failed to kill a single one. Now, you could understand him engaging if there were 2 of them right there with their asses pointed to him. It's like, right, just open fire then, pal, you'll get a bunch of kills. And you could actually turn that around and maybe win the fight. Maybe enemy team will think there's more than one and they'll be panicking, and who knows, but no, he just opened up at the moment he saw them. He just straight away blew his load, and it's like, oh, well, great, that's the end of that game. We might have time for one more, but yeah, it's a mixed bag is Hazard Zone. I think it's very dependent on your teammates. So you want to play this with a group of people that you can trust. At least have like one person with you. Don't go into this with randomers. I might later on, because I've got access to this. My brothers, we actually both bought it on. You'll notice I'm playing it on PlayStation. We do family sharing, so even though he's over at his house and I'm over here, we actually both are playing technically the same version of the game that we paid for, so we paid half each. Because, you know, we're stingy, tight Yorkshiremen like that, but... But I've got another friend who's getting it next week. They just got the standard edition, so they don't get the week early access, which is fair enough, but... Basically, in a week's time I might be able to return to this, maybe get almost a full team together, perhaps a full team, you never know. And might actually be able to get some decent games in. I'll see if I can organise that. But we'll have one more before we go here. Let's see, who have we got? 2 low ranks, and then me and this person who are... I mean, this is still low rank, but for having just got the game, we're pretty high rank compared to most at this point. So I would expect me and this guy to know what we're doing. It's on renewal again, so... On renewal, good map for it. And we'll be in the research facility, so it'll be pretty hot, but we should be able to get some data drives. There might even be first extraction there that we can nip out on. Who knows? We'll live in hope. What are they? They're all taking the drive scanners, so I'll just take a... I'll take a rocket launcher. Someone needs to be able to blow up those trucks. And one left. I will admit, I think that we are getting some bad... Oh god, both have left now, right. Yes, quit. Just don't bother. No, no, no. Not doing it. If two have left, no.
I'm ready if you are.
Absolutely not. Right. And they really need to do something about that. I think as a game mode, it could get somewhere, but it'll need a lot of, tweaking and balancing and features and things adding, a lot more fleshing out to the economy and that. And I think it more than anything, it needs a reward. It's like, well, what's the reward? You can earn more money next time. Okay, and what? It's like, and what else? Okay, we get more money next time, but what's the actual reward? What we're doing this for? What's the point? To get money, okay, which we spend on equipment, yep. To earn money, yep. Well, what's the purpose? It's that sort of thing. I need like a skin that I could unlock, or some gadgets or something, or unique cosmetics that you only get on this mode, or that there needs to be a purpose outside of just having more toys the next time I go in. I think it needs something like that to keep drawing people in, and it doesn't have it at the moment. Looks like we've got 3 fairly low ranked people as well, so I mean, you never know, they might play this mode a bunch and be really good at it, but I'm gonna guess that they probably are more likely than not going to be bad and not know what they're doing. But we'll see. It is taking a long time to get this game started. I bet someone's trying to connect who's got potato internet. But yeah, I think that they could make this game mode good, but they'd have to give it a lot more care and attention than it's got at the moment. I don't want to see them do to this what they did with Firestorm, where, a month later, damn, our attempt at a battle royale hasn't made all the money. Well, abandon. No, actually, it's because a lot of battle royales that are out didn't just fall into fame and fortune. Warzone has kept at it and kept adding things over the past year or so, until now. As Fortnite has become less and less popular, the kids that played it have started to grow up. Who knew? But also, it's just been getting way more. From what I've heard from my nephews, it's getting tighter with what they give you and just wanting more money, and they're not adding much more stuff to it as they used to be. And they've got like issues with cheaters and things, and I think it's just slowly everyone's just walking away from it and putting it down. Thank God that fad's finally over. But Warzone's stuck in there and it's slowly but surely beating it. And PUBG found itself, that one did fall into fame and fortune, and then what did they do? It took them like a year and a half or something to make one map, and then it's just been killed off by everything else. It's like, yeah, you actually have to work at these things, make them good, dare I say.
We are not who you might expect, but we are enough.
I think Firestorm could have been something good, but they just didn't market it right. They didn't do the right business. They didn't do the right business model for it, and they didn't bother to put in the work and effort. That's a team over there landing, so you have to be wary of that. Team down there. One over there. One over there, I think. One over there. One over there. Okay. So it looks like we're sharing this with another team. They're to our... Where is that? The south? Yeah. Team to the south and a few teams across the wall. Anyone want to re-ping that, I'm going to do my bit as well. Oh no, they've all got armour as well. Well, I'll give myself some. Oh.
Move to that location.
That was a player. That was absolutely a player, that.
Can't be many more unsecure data drives out there.
Can't be many. What? Is he saying that they've all been grabbed already? Jesus Christ. Come on, hit something, for God's sake. Killed each other, and... Oh no, I killed him, someone else killed me, who this person has just killed. And he's not noticed me to come and revive me. Right, let me request a revive, and we might get someone to actually bother helping me. And like, hey guys, making sure your team doesn't die, especially the guy who gives you free armor and ammo. Keeping him alive is useful.
You're gonna have to hunt them down.
Yeah, one of ours just got fragged. Oh, now we're focused on the AI apparently. Don't like how I can't see anyone either in this.
Is anybody there?
And that's an enemy. Great.
Help me!
You still out there? Please.
Well, everyone, that is the premier Hazard Zone experience. Really showcasing the game mode and how good it is, and yeah, just really highlighting the amazing quality of that game mode and just how good it is. Honestly, it's not bad when you're a mate or two playing it with you and you can actually somewhat coordinate, but with randomers it is absolute cancer. I'll admit that much. It is just absolute, it is pretty bad at the moment. It needs a lot doing to it to make it a decent game mode. I can see it becoming a decent game mode if they put the effort in, but it's whether or not they care about putting the effort in. And I think the sacrifices they've had to make for that game mode with the specialist system, which, I mean, the specialists don't need to be in the regular mode. They could absolutely just replace them with customizable soldiers. Because the things that I miss with the specialist system being in now is, one is the class balancing. Because one of the issues that I had with Battlefield 5 is that you can have a the German soldiers could just go in with like their STG. Well, I guess every soldier could do it because it wasn't faction specific, but you'd go in and take something like the STG. Basically, you know, ye olde initial assault rifle. Take that in, get you send get you send an anti-tank grenade as in your grenade slot. You know, basically it's like a big boy grenade. Can't throw it as far, but bigger explosion can damage vehicles, right? Why not carry that? So okay, you've got your big anti-tank grenade. You've got your. He then takes like a rocket launcher as his other gadget, and what else could he get then as a third gadget? I think he could get like mines or something, and but like every gadget slot was an anti-vehicle weapon, one of which was a rocket launcher, and then he could carry assault rifles. God knows what they were thinking when they were balancing that class. And when you can revive squad mates, literally everyone just played assault throughout all of Battlefield 5. Like I miss like nice balanced classes. It's been a while since we've had those. The specialist system just makes the problem worse.